doing this as a job, though, is that you don't really know what you're going to be remembered for. You don't know exactly what's going to catch on. And this happened to me. I'd been doing comedy for like 4 or 5 years, and then the lockdown came around, and I decided to spend my time locked in my house in New Zealand, dressing up as the New Zealand Prime Minister. Jacinda Ardern. There's a few people going, "You're not her?" No refunds, but that was an odd thing that caught on here more than it did in New Zealand. Like, you guys loved it for some reason. I was at home and I was getting phone calls from Australian radio stations, like fucking Fitzo and Blippy or whatever. Whatever the fuck you guys call them, like. In New Zealand, it's like John and Karen. And it's like beep, bloop, and bop, boop. Anyway, I get phone calls from these Australian radio stations going, "We love your Jacinda impersonation. Can you come on our radio show and do your impression?" And I'm like, that's weird. Because in those videos that I made, I used makeup to make my face look like Jacinda, but I made no effort to change my voice whatsoever. I just have a New Zealand accent. They were like, "It's perfect." I was like, "A gig's a gig." Do you guys need some shrooms? The Jacinda thing was weird because I was no longer recognised as Melanie Bracewell. I would just sort of, go about my life and people would spot me and go, "Jacinda." I think I got her some votes, It would often happen at the club. I just heard one go, "Ooh." Yeah, it was an ooh of like, "You don't go to the club." I dabble. I treat the boards. Pop a couple of antihistamines. Sick. So I would often get recognised by very, very drunk women, but they'd only recognise Jacinda. They'd come up to me and be like, "Hey, Jacinda." I'm like, you seem like you're in a state to talk policy. And then, I know in that moment they don't actually think I'm Jacinda, but they're so wasted that I like to think that maybe the next morning, in their hazy recollection of the night before, that they wake up, pulling M&Ms from their McFlurry out of their bra, just going, "Yeah, I think I met Jacinda last night. She was doing slut drops. Retirement looks good on her. I think she gave me MDMA. Didn't really feel anything, just cleared up my sinuses." That's quite rare for that to happen, for someone to actually come up and say that they recognise me in person, because I think Australians and New Zealanders were quite shy. What will happen is I'll just go about my day and then I'll get home and open up my Instagram message requests and there'll be a message from a stranger that says something like, "Just saw you. Spotted." It's quite scary, but sometimes it's really specific as well. I got one from this guy recently. It said, "Just saw you on Smith Street, looking so sweaty after your workout." Horrifying. But made worse by the fact that at that time, I was on my way to my workout. I'm just a sweaty person.